What's going on, guys? JSGC here, back again for another daily Manchester City transfer update, and boy, things have just got interesting today when it comes to the outs at Manchester City. So before I do crack on with this video, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, do subscribe to my channel. It is free to subscribe. I'm going to keep you guys up to date every single day here on YouTube with all the latest City transfer news. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. It is free. Social media links are in the description if you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up on today's transfer update. We're aiming for 400 likes once more. I do get your thoughts as well in the comments below. So we've got no contract news, we've got no in news. It is all about the outs. Very interesting today's update. So first player I want to speak about is now former Manchester City man Kyle Walker, and the Mail have said that Manchester City are only going to be getting £5 million for Kyle Walker this summer from Burnley should Burnley stay up in the Premier League this season, and also Kyle Walker plays in 70% of Burnley's games for the upcoming season as well. If then two trigger points are met, then Burnley will have to pay Manchester City £5 million. I don't know what the clauses and agreements are in place about if that doesn't happen, but Kyle Walker is now a Burnley player, and right now the transfer fee is £0. They've picked him up for free, but Manchester City do take his wage off the wage structure, so it does allow a little bit more freedom when it comes to potential incomings if City do want to look at that fullback area. And also Kyle Walker, he's on a heft, what was he on, like 180, 200,000 pounds a week at Manchester City, so City have managed to clear that off the wage bill. We'll see if we do get £5 million or not. Anyway, moving on, we've got the latest on Silky Ilkay Gundogan, and he's off to Turkey. But only for a holiday, I presume. Now, his wife has confirmed that Ilkay Gundogan, herself and also their children are off to Turkey for their holiday. They're on a plane and they're on their way to Turkey as of right now. Ilkay Gundogan does have offers and interest coming in from clubs in Turkey this summer. Manchester City's stance on this transfer is they will not stand in Gundogan's way if he does want to pursue a move away from the club, and he does want to pursue a move to Turkey, which I think has always for a long time been of interest to Ilkay Gundogan. So the question here is, on his holiday, is he going to go and hold some talks with some Turkish clubs and some agents whilst he's enjoying his break? Is he going there to scout Turkey to see if he gets the vibe and feel about where he's looking at? Is he looking for a new home? Is he looking for that holiday home? Is it all just rumours and speculation? We'll have to wait and see, but there is definitely 100% concrete interest from Turkey in Ilkay Gundogan this summer. Is he going to make the move, and are the Turkish clubs going to want to make that move? They will only make that move once they hear from Gundogan and he communicates to them that he is interested in making a transfer away from Manchester City, and probably very similar to the Kyle Walker situation. I don't think it'd take a big fee, maybe even be able to pick him up for free with some good bonuses included. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, moving on, let's get into the juice of this video, Nico Gonzalez, because we've had these unofficial murmurs, rumours floating around about Nico G being unhappy at Manchester City, about him wanting to leave this summer, and no sources have really wanted to put their neck on the line and speak about this transfer up until the last couple of hours. Sam Lee from The Athletic was the first. He's tweeted out, he was asked over on X about what does he think about the Nico G situation. Is he asked to leave? Is he going to be leaving Manchester City? And Sam Lee did respond to give him credit and said on X that he doesn't think that Manchester City want to or plan to sell Nico G this summer, but he isn't entirely sure about where these rumours are coming from, and if he was to guess where these rumours were coming from, then his guess would be that Nico G's agent was really trying to push this deal forward. And if you want to know where these unofficial rumours and murmurs are coming from, it is believed that it's coming from Nico G's camp and his entourage rather than coming from Manchester City's end. So what we're waiting for here is about why this is coming out, because again, everything's all speculation and it's all coulds and maybes, but my thoughts on this is I don't think Nico G's entirely happy about the game time that he's had at Manchester City since arriving here, and I know a lot of people don't want to take the Club World Cup seriously, but Manchester City did want to take it seriously, and the fact that for the majority of the games and the big games where the minutes were, Nico G was once more on the bench and not featuring for Manchester City. And when it comes to City's midfield pecking order, since bringing in Tijani Reinders, it feels like Tijani Reinders is ahead of him in the pecking order. Rodri's coming back from injury, ahead of him in the pecking order. Kovacic, Ilkay, Gundogan, they're ahead of him in the pecking order. So it's a case here where Nico G could potentially get more game time if he's prepared to be patient and stick it out for the next 12 to 24 months, because I'm almost certain that in the next 2 years that both Ilkay Gundogan and Mateo Kovacic won't be Manchester City players. So we'd be looking towards the next generation, like a 23-year-old Nico Gonzalez, who we brought in from FC Porto for, what was it, around £60 million in the January transfer window, and we chose to invest a heck of a lot of money to bring him in. So it's going to have to take a patient game. There's a lot of games, there's a lot of minutes coming up for the upcoming season, and I'm hoping that Nico G is going to stick at it, and I'm hoping that he's going to be given his opportunity, because I feel like what he's looking for here is a run of games for him to showcase what he can do, and it's just not happened. And that all comes down to Pep Guardiola's man management of the squad and his need for rotation, and Pep Guardiola's preference about who he thinks going to be the stronger players in the stronger positions for obviously each game. So it all falls down to, rather than the City hierarchy, down to Pep Guardiola, and behind closed doors we don't know what Nico G's opinions are of Manchester City, of Pep Guardiola, of the hierarchy, of the culture in Manchester. He may just be really unsettled and he's not enjoyed himself. He won't be the first. I mean, take a good look at Alvaro Negredo. He was only here for one season. He was a tremendous for the first 6 months and then really fell off in the second half of the season. He felt unsettled, didn't particularly like England or Manchester itself, and he wanted to leave, and it wouldn't be the first player to come in from Iberia. I mean, even Bernardo Silva's felt the impact of what Manchester culturally is like and how it's so different to that of Iberia, and spending a lot of the time in warm weather and sunshine and by the coast and things. It's very different and it can unsettle players, but again, it's all just mere speculation, but there's all ifs and maybes. And then Fabrizio Romano has come out in the last hour and said that he feels like this transfer of Nico Gonzalez potentially leaving Manchester City could well be one to watch for the rest of this summer transfer window. He says that Nico G could well leave Manchester City this summer. It would take a good proposal to come into Manchester City and to Nico G to tempt him to want to move, but Nico G isn't entirely sure about what he wants from the future as of yet. He needs to obviously go away for the next few weeks and think about and make a decision to let Manchester City know that if he does want to leave, do we need to go back into the market to look at another potential midfielder. But Man City could potentially have their non-homegrown solution right here in a waste of a signing of Nico G potentially. And it's just, yeah, it all comes down to what the player wants, and Fabrizio Romano says that the player feels like he isn't all that crucial to Manchester City, and do not underestimate this in this summer transfer window about the impact of the upcoming World Cup, because obviously Nico G is not a Spanish international as of right now, but he will want to be a Spanish international. He will want to be on the plane with Spain to the World Cup in North America next summer. The only way he can do that is through playing on a regular basis for a top team like Manchester City, and if he feels like he can't achieve that and he's feeling unsettled and a good offer does come in, then he could well leave Manchester City, and it leaves a big problem for City, because as I said before, in the next 12 to 24 months you've got the likes of Mateo Kovacic, you've got Ilkay Gundogan, probably Bernardo Silva as well, all leaving Manchester City's midfield, and we've got a ready-made solution to come in who would already have adapted and gelled himself in over the last 18 months or so, ready to take over when these players are no longer here, and the players feeling unsettled because of City's insistence of sticking with the old guard rather than making the transition to the new guard. And this is where we find ourselves at. Quite concerning when you think about it, and I'm quite surprised right now that we've not had links of Cody Husanov leaving Manchester City as well, because he's in a pretty similar situation as well. Apart from he's almost guaranteed to be going to the World Cup, and I don't know if they're enjoying life in Manchester and in England, but it's all speculation. But if it all comes down to game time and once wanting to be a first-team regular at Manchester City, then it's not been happening so far, and going off the Club World Cup, it could be quite a struggle heading into the first half of the season as well, and definitely something that I'm going to keep my eyes and ears open for the remainder of the transfer window. And guys, I'd love to know your thoughts of this in the comments below. Also, don't forget to leave a thumbs up. 400 likes is the aim. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new around here. It is free to subscribe. Going to keep you guys up to date every single day with all the latest City transfer news here on YouTube. So if you haven't already, do subscribe. Also, don't forget social media links are in the description. If you want to go and follow me on my X, Instagram and TikTok, email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. And I'll see you all again religiously tomorrow for the next daily Manchester City transfer update. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. Hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.